starting now. First, on framework, instead of wasting money on colonizing space in the future, we should be focusing on fixing problems at home and enjoying the present. In fact, according to Williams in 2015, the need to colonize is not pressing. Life on Earth is more urgently threatened by the destruction of the biosphere. If we accept these threats as inevitabilities and divert our nature, intellectual, political, and technological resources away from solving these problems, then extinction will become an inevitability. This brings us to our first contention, which is opportunity cost. Subpoint A, launch costs are overwhelming. Current technologies and history proves that space colonization is impossible with the funds that we have. According to Michio Kaku, professor of theoretical physics at the City University of New York in 2009, the bottom line is simple: money. It costs $700 million every time a shuttle flies, and to put a pound of anything on the moon costs about 10 times as much. The space station alone costs over $100 billion. Subpoint B, the cost of space exploration the cost of space colonization trades off with solving global warming. According to J. Scott Christensen, the professor of management at the University of Missouri in 2009, a mission to Mars would cost tens of billions of dollars. NASA needs an extra $3 billion per year to keep its plan on track. A major risk associated with the Mars mission is that after sinking billions of dollars, Congress will choose to pull the plug because of the cost overruns and delays. Mars is months away with lots of time for things to go horribly wrong. A mission to Mars will tie up most of NASA's intellectual resources for about a decade or more as they toil with an incredibly expensive project. Now, subpoint B is space colonization and tourism accelerates climate change. In fact, according to Mosher of The Wired in 2010, suborbital spaceflights that rely on rocket fuel could sink ice caps, alter the ozone layer, and affect global temperatures. Rubber-based rocket fuel burned with nitrous oxide is the preferred propellant of the burgeoning space tourism industry, and chemists suspect that such hybrid engines emit closer to the Earth the stuff has shown to increase the amount of climate change in the long run. Contention 2 is space weaponization. Subpoint A, colonization causes resource wars and space weapon development. According to Gagnon in 2009, the military will ride the NASA Trojan horse and accelerate space weapons. NASA would expand space nuclear power systems to help create new designs for weapon propulsion. Nuclear-powered bases give the U.S. a leg up in the race. The military will create the space weapon systems. Subpoint B is NASA's increase in weapons in space incentivizes Russia to strike first. According to Schweitz in 2006, space weapons will destabilize the global community. American missile interceptors in space can quickly wipe out Russian early warning satellites. The mere existence of these weapons could accelerate tensions between the two countries. Subpoint C, a nuclear war between the U.S. and Russia is the single greatest existential threat that humanity faces. In fact, according to Nick Bostrom, their own author, states in 2002 that a greater risk emerged with the buildup of nuclear arsenals in the U.S. and Russia. A nuclear war was a possibility with both substantial probability with consequences which could soon escalate into extinction, thus posing as the greatest existential threat to humanity. Next is contention 3, colonization will fail. Subpoint A is radiation. Space exploration can kill us all through space radiation. In fact, according to Page in 2011, the radiation risks of deep space travel are difficult to predict, largely because so few people have been exposed. The scientists thought that iron ions might cause a thickening of artery walls and overall a deterioration in health in the long run, which means that life on space is virtually impossible. Subpoint B is viruses. Colonization brings new strains of space viruses. According to Gagnon in 1999, there were various space viruses that decided to mutate. Because NASA is underprepared, we shouldn't risk extinction.